Wife cheated on me while she was out of town. A little historical context. I am a lady in her late 30s. My wife is a 30-something lady. We've been married for more than 7 years and together for 10. I had the mistaken sense that we were satisfied in working together towards some basic life goals that we all shared: debt payoff, retirement, traveling, etc. We've been hard at work around the home. That is, we were actively discussing prospective plans. There was also the previous week to think about. I'll spare you the gruesome details, but when my wife's phone rang on the counter, I dashed to fetch it. She was holding it with the wrong hand. I got a text message from the guy she had cheated on when she was out of town a few weeks ago, and I asked about it. I then read more text conversations from my wife to her buddy, in which she brags about how great it was and moans about not being able to walk the following morning. My heart rate increased as I considered it. I chose to contact her straight and inquire whether or not she was cheating right away. She was well aware of the situation. I pressed her on why she had done it. She expressed her dissatisfaction with the situation. Curiosity got the best of me, so I questioned. During our talk, she said that her friends had told her that when they are around her, her behavior differs from when they are not. She told me she doesn't feel like herself when she's with me. She then expressed her dissatisfaction with the existing state of things in the bedroom. She admitted that she was inebriated at the time of the encounter, but she was certain that it was entirely consensual. He was easy to talk to, physically gorgeous, charming, and positive in his demeanor, she said. We spoke about what you'd be expecting for a long time that night, many hours. She said that she wasn't sure whether she wanted to save our marriage or leave it alone. The lady said that she had harmed it too much, and that it would be easier to just leave it alone now. To get away, I intended to get my possessions and leave that evening. After some thought, I changed my mind and told her that I couldn't. I had no desire to go. I leave because she isn't going to be able to do it. As a result, she departed to see a friend in another city. She returned early the next morning, packed a few belongings, and went to the shelter to pick up the dogs. We sat and spoke for many hours again. What I'm truly curious about is how she was able to betray me in such a manner. What I'm truly curious about is why she didn't inform me before things went this far. She just continued to express her regrets and sorrow in the same way. She never knelt and begged for aid, nor did she ever ask forgiveness for anything. We'd had enough, and she'd abandoned us to our fate. It made sense to me that she would go to her parents to straighten things out and get her head back on track. Yes, I am well aware that I am a shambles who is unable to function. I assumed she was in the same situation. She recently informed me that she has not shared this information with anybody, including her parents, since she is not yet ready to do so. That's okay with me. So I made the error of checking our shared mobile phone plan to see whether she had ceased communicating with this individual as a result of this experience. I found myself in a condition of complete despair once again. A large number of text messages have been sent between them every day since the first time they had relations with one another, including image messages. She claims she isn't ready to speak to anybody, yet she sends him hundreds of SMS every day from the time she wakes up until the moment she goes to bed, regardless of her feelings. I also confronted her about the situation. I believe she eventually made the connection and realized that I had, after all, accessed our mobile phone account information. He would be welcome to speak with her immediately, if she so desired. I'm not going to be spied on, the actress said emphatically. She then went out and purchased a smartphone of her own. When asked what it was about this guy that made him so exceptional, the answer was he's upbeat and pleasant to be around. He's a married guy with 2 young children, which I'll bring up as an additional point of interest for the sake of full disclosure. The 2 of us have decided to put our contact on hold until either Saturday or Sunday, after which we will continue our conversation. As an alternative to chatting over the phone, I propose that we meet in person and go through the matter in more detail together. In hindsight, I'm not convinced that was the wisest option to have made. Believe me when I say that I'm not it's here in front of me, right now. After just a month of dating, my wife has decided to divorce me. She is completely uninterested in me, my family, or our way of life. Nothing. Because I've ran out of words, this is exactly what I should do. I've gone completely deafeningly what I've been able to accomplish so far is to make an appointment with a counselor and chat with them. My first meeting was this morning. At 9 a.m. I was excited. I'm completely at a loss on what to do after that. I've got a lot of questions for you, so bear with me. I'm not sure what is causing this to happen. It was absolutely not my fault. My wife is a very remarkable woman. Ideally, I'd want to meet up with her again. As a result, I'm bewildered, and I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with the feelings of sadness and betrayal I've experienced, particularly given the fact that she displays no remorse and continues to communicate with this individual. I don't expect to get any responses to my email. I'm certain that I'll never be able to find satisfactory answers to many of my questions. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to voice my dissatisfaction. Story 2. Cheated on while I was out of state. This isn't as fascinating as some other stories of cheating, but it did happen and it smells to high heaven. After all, I'd only been seeing this woman for 4 months, but we'd been best friends for 2 years before that. I also realized she had another male best friend when we started dating, which worries me since I've been cheated on before by someone who claimed to be a man best friend. Anyway, I tried my best to ignore it, and I was okay with it since I was madly in love with her. I grew skeptical after seeing that he never sent a Snapchat of his face while we were together, instead sending a Snapchat of the wall or something, which he apparently never done. Yes, I know it's weird. That may sound silly, but I was on the hunt for male best mates at the time. Regardless, I got over it and carried on. We went out the next day, and she wouldn't view his text messages or snaps in front of me, which I didn't notice at the time. It was the first time this had happened to me. This kind of conversation continued for a long, and I eventually shared my thoughts with her and explained where I was coming from. She grew upset and said that he was like to a sibling in her eyes. That's exactly what I was thinking. In any case, about a month later, I had to leave the state for a basketball competition that also happened to fall on the same day as my birthday, and my relationship with her was going great. I had just met her family, and they liked me. However, as soon as I left the state, she stopped texting me almost completely, and I had to restart the conversation, which seemed strange considering she was usually a chatty girl. It's my birthday a few days later, and I learned that she's going on a drive with this dude to witness the sunrise, which, of course, makes me feel uncomfortable. Furthermore, she does not even bother to wish me a happy birthday on my occasion. As a result, I decide to disregard the situation and focus on my next games. After a while, it becomes late at night, and I remind her, "You know it's my birthday, and you haven't said anything about it." "Yeah, I've been quite busy, and I apologize," she continues. I just tell myself that if she doesn't respect me even a little bit, I'm not going to bother with her, and that is the end of the conversation. Her suggestion for the next day is, "We should get together when you come back." As a result, I automatically say yes since I miss her. After I return home, I put on my clothes and go to her house, 30-minute train trip, where she informs me that I feel it is best for us to remain friends. I just sit there in astonishment and don't say anything since I'm terrible at responding. She then rises to her feet and goes away. I've been banned from my phone for a week, I've been blacklisted from Snapchat, and she's dating her male best buddy. As a result, my trust issues have reached an all-time high, and I have come to loathe myself. And this is despite the fact that it happened 5 months ago. Now, nice time right now.